It's been 8 years since the night I died. It wasn't a particularly tragic or unusual case, just an everyday car accident. There was no malice or ill feelings behind the act. It was simply nature taking its course. I don't blame the man who killed me. He was speeding down the road because his wife was in labor, and he wanted to be there for her when she brought their child into the world. Unfortunately, the black ice on the road had other plans for the two of us. The man behind the wheel lost control of his car, and I lost my life. It wasn't his fault. Of course I know that. I have never been cruel or vengeful, not even toward the man who took my life. I couldn't bring myself to hate someone who clearly loved his family very much and was only trying to do the right thing. What he did was reckless, but I understand why he did it. I feel no ill feelings toward the man. In fact, I'm glad he's the one who took my life. He probably will never realize it, but he gave me something far more precious than my life ever was. That night when he struck me down with his car, he gave me a purpose. You see, I don't have any family left, and I lost the few friends I actually had around that time. When the day of my funeral came, the only people who bothered to show up was the man who killed me, along with his wife and the newest member of their beautiful little family. The wife was holding her newborn daughter in her arms. It made me happy to see that things worked out for them. These people cried for me. I never thought I would see anyone shed tears over something that happened to me of all people. It was touching to say the least. My boss also showed up at the funeral later on, but he seemed more upset for himself than he did for me. He was more concerned about what type of effect that losing an employee would have on his paycheck than he was about losing a fellow human being. It was little more than a publicity stunt to make himself look and feel good. He treated me like I was less than garbage since the day I started working for him. As I've said before, I have never been one to hold grudges, but God, was that guy unbearable. I couldn't stand the sight of my boss any longer, and the cemetery was awfully lonely, so I followed the family home. They were the only ones to show me an ounce of kindness in years, and I felt like it was only right to try and repay them somehow. I found out that the man's name was Jack, and his wife's name was Lori. Their little girl's name was Lily. Lily may as well have been my own flesh and blood. She was sweet, bright, and oh so very small. She had trouble sleeping if someone wasn't rocking her crib, and her parents were usually too tired from work to do it for long. So, after they put her to bed, it was easy for me to rock her crib for her, and then before either of us knew it, she was out like a light and snoozing away without a care in the world. It was a precious sight. I never got tired of doing it. I wanted to help Lily and her parents in any way I could. As the years passed, Jack and Lori realized that they weren't alone in the house. It didn't take long from there to make a connection between my funeral and when I had showed up. And I had never been malevolent, so they weren't afraid or angry. They accepted me as a member of their family, and I loved them all the more for it. They started to burn candles on the anniversary of my death day every single year. They even left an empty chair for me when the holidays came around, or when it was just time to sit at the dinner table for supper. I really felt like I had finally found the one place in the entire world where I belonged. Jack, Lori, and Lily, they were truly the family I always wanted. Even more years later, I suddenly sensed a great disturbance. The family was in danger. Someone was threatening to break us all apart. There is someone at the door. It was Lori's ex-husband. He is a dangerous man, obsessive, spiteful, and controlling. He wanted to hurt the family, my family. He was making a great mistake. The thing about spirits is that they become stronger with offerings. Jack, Lori, and Lily have given me countless offerings over the last 5 years. They lit candles for me, gave me valuable trinkets, and even offered their delicious home-cooked meals to me. Their love for me was strong, and I have grown incredibly powerful because of that love. I have never been a vengeful man, but I would never let anyone hurt those who were precious to me. If that wretched man dares to break down that door, then I will show him no mercy. I will make him disappear. Jack, Lori, and Lily are my family. I care about them more than anything in the entire world, and they are not ready to join me quite yet.